Vaishnavas, they capture you with their sweetness and affection. That was what's really powerful about Gurudev, is that it wasn't like he comes and he just forcefully takes away your independence. He wraps you up in his sweetness and his love and affection, and then you just want to follow him. And so the Vaishnavas were also like that. They're just so sweet and affectionate. And so then I remember deciding in my mind, okay, I'll do it, I'll try. And then I was coming back to India, and just on the same type of theme, I remember the Vaishnavas really strongly giving this, so many different teachings in their class, but there's some very core principles. And one is that I remember hearing this story many times, especially it sticks in my mind when I was new in the mat, was the idea of, there's a long story, just to make it short. There's a Babaji who goes to visit another Babaji in a kunj, and he sees this beautiful ashram with many flowers and things to serve Krishna with, and he's attracted to this flower, and he plucks it and he smells it, and then he throws it on the ground, he lets it go and fall, and then immediately he feels regret, and he thinks, oh, what have I done? And so he goes to meet this other sadhu, and he reveals his heart, I've actually done this great sin, everything is meant for Krishna, but I've thought I'm the enjoyer, and I tried to enjoy this. And this is the idea of being independent in this world, is that I want to be the independent enjoyer, and we have to give this up. And the sadhu said, okay, if you want to he prayed to him, please tell me some atonement. And he said, okay, you have to cut off your offending hand, like we hear Christ, says, if one eye offends you, pluck it out. It's better to, pluck out one eye than burn in hell because of your sins. It seems very extreme, but this is what they teach us. And so, he cut off his arm, and that's why it stuck in my mind, because I'm just a young guy, and I hear this katha, like, you pick a flower and you smell it, and you have to cut off your arm. I was just like, this is extreme, this is crazy, it's fanatic. And so I was thinking over these things in my mind before I was coming back to India in 2006. And I remember having this dream of Gurudev. These are very special moments for us, so it's not every day that you get a dream of Gurudev, especially for me, because I'm so absorbed in Maya. So anyhow, Gurudev came in this dream. I remember he was giving class before, like in a small crowd of devotees, maybe 100 devotees. It was pretty informal. And I paid pranam from a distance, and he called me forward and he said, oh, so now you want to be very serious and try to serve me, and come and live in the mat and serve in that way. And I said, yes, Gurudev, I really want to follow your desire. And he said, okay, that's fine, but if you want to do that, then I'll have to cut off your hands. I was like, oh no. And he was very serious. Gurudev wasn't joking or anything. He said, I'll have to cut off your arms. And he made this cutting motion, And I was like, okay, if you got to do it, do it. So he said, okay, I'll cut off your hands, and then I'll give you, like, the idea, I'll give you new hands, or give you, Subal's laughing at me in the back. Whatever it is, it's like the idea is, that's what Gurudev's mood was, like, take away our own, because what do we do with our hands? We engage in trying to acquire things to enjoy in this world. And so the idea is, to serve, you have to surrender and then try to be an instrument of Gurudev's will. Give up your independence and follow Anugatya. So that was kind of a turning point, and I came, and so many years I've been doing my best, not doing whatever I can, but the idea of this jewel Gurudev gives, like Gurudev would say in the West, the greatest jewel given to the jiva is their independence. Krishna gives this jewel, otherwise you'd just be matter, you'd be inert. But he gives us this so that you can, with that jewel of independence, you can really understand what is the goal of life, which is love, and that real object of love is Krishna. And you can achieve Krishna and love for Krishna through his own eternal beloved or dearmost counterpart, Srimati Radharani. And Gurudev gave us that conception. And so it's like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in his bhajan, Vidhi marga rata jane svadhinata ratna dane raga marg korona pravesh. That first you have to follow rules and regulations, give up your independence. And then by doing so, you can gradually progress to becoming free. He frees our spirit. And then at that time, Gurudev, he said, okay, become like a brahmachari. But after that, he's not telling me left and right, do this, do that. I would ask Gurudev, what should I do? And he would just, you're doing what I want you to do. Just be serious and try to follow pure bhakti. It's that simple. And what is the end of that? The end goal in mind is that you raga marg karuna pravesh. You enter that path of spontaneous love. What is your heart inspired to do for Krishna? And you naturally do that. Your natural inclination. It's not that you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to make garlands, you have to cut sabji, you have to be in the kunj sweeping and this and that. No, what is your heart really drawn towards? What do you become greedy for? Otherwise, they don't give you that by force. Krishna doesn't force you to love him. He wants you to really love him because he loves you. And so you get that sense from Gurudev that he really loves you. Otherwise, there would be no question of giving up your free will. Only when I really experience that, like when you really think about it in your heart of hearts, who really loves me? And you realize, no, Gurudev, and it's not material, so it's not like an ordinary relationship, but at the same time, it's so much more powerful. Like Gurudev would say, Guru is even more powerful than God because he controls God with his love. Like Mother Yashoda controls Krishna with her love. And so what to speak of the jivas if he can control even Krishna? So he gives us that love which is just so powerful it overwhelms us, and then we surrender, and then we have to follow these rules and regulations. But at the end of the path of following these rules and regulations, what does it go into? That path of prem. Like Mahaprabhu says, if you dive into the ocean of Gaura Ras, then you arise in that braj and taste Madhuras. So it's that Labhe Jeev Krishna Prema Vesh. You become completely absorbed or mad in love for Krishna. And what else could you really want?
It was so amazing at Devananda Gaudiya Math. And I remember just, when Gurudev would wait for Srila Vaman Maharaj to arrive, and then I would be standing up like near his room, and I think there were just a few of us, and Gurudev had this garland with him, and he was pacing backwards and forwards. Like, I've never seen Gurudev like that. He was pacing backwards and forwards, like he was in so much what's that like word, not anxiety, but like so much greed to meet with Srila Vaman Maharaj. At least that's what it looked like to me. And he was just pacing backwards and forwards, and then Srila Vaman Maharaj came in his car, and I looked over, and like all the Bengalis, they make that noise, and then everyone hit the ground, and to pay pranam to Srila Vaman Maharaj. And then he came upstairs, and Gurudev offered that garland. He put the garland on him, and then he paid pranam to him. And there was so much, affection and respect between them. It was really remarkable. There was no that they were. Like Gurudev always explains, like after Param Gurudev left, there was just no envy or competition between them, and just respect and affection. And just all three of them being there, it just created such a powerful atmosphere. And then one last thing that I remember was one Gaurapanim. And Gurudev was like a conductor, and he was like standing on the stage, and then he was kind of almost like, it was like everybody was a puppet, and he was pulling their strings and telling someone to play the mridanga and the other person to do this, and the wampas and this, and he was directing everybody, and everyone was like running backwards. Do you remember that? It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It's like indescribable. It's like something, I've never seen anything like it. Like that, it was just an unbelievable like kirtan and Gaurapanim, like absolutely amazing. And it was just like Gurudev was directing everything, and the happiness that you felt in that atmosphere, it really was like from another world, and so inspiring. And so that for me, every time I go back to Devananda Gaudiya Math, I always have those memories, and it's such a special time, especially when all three of them were there, in such a special time with Gurudev. And as he always was, as many disciples as he got, Gurudev was always so personal and so accessible. And even now, when you see his samadhi, some people say, oh, it's not good, and the Bengalis are sleeping all around. But that's Gurudev. Like, he was always with his disciples. He always had his disciples around him. He wasn't shut off and away from us and not accessible. And you can see it in his samadhi. He's just so giving and personal. He's right there in the middle of everybody doing parikrama like he always was.
The first time I met Gurudev is 1990. Okay. In France. I met Gurudev in the best place at this time. Okay? for the first time. And before I come best place, before I come there, I see one movies with Gurudev there. Because 10 years before I'm practicing Harinam, Mahamantra, Sankirtan, like this. And I'm search for where I can find one Sadguru. I don't find it. After some time, one devotees, senior devotees of Srila Prabhupada, tell me, oh, I have one movie, especially for you. I thinking you can get pleasure to look this movie. Okay, he put this movie in the machine, and I heard Gurudev for the first time. I said, oh, okay, that is I searching, because he is follow in the same line of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada in the commentaries of Srila Prabhupada on the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, many instruction is there. And when I heard for the first time Gurudev, I see, oh, that is why that is the same feeling I want to hear for the first time with my ears. And like this. After that, this disciple of Srila Prabhupada take me and go to best class. And I'm first, this is the first time I meet Gurudev. In this time, I'm very impressive. And when I meet him dans sa chambre, comme on dit, in the room, when I meet him for the first time in the room, I'm very impressive. I'm not really understood what Gurudev said to me, because I ask Gurudev, I ask him, is possible I take the first initiation, the first initiation. I'm not really understood. He said, oh, I understood. Oh, he said to me, no, I cannot give you, not possible to give you. Like that I heard. It's not really what Gurudev says. And after I'm go out this room, and the tears come to me, and tears. I know he's my Gurudev, because some manifestation is come to really make me, I'm sure this person is a Sadguru. When I understood that, I'm very emotionally touched. My heart touched also. I don't know what I can do, because I know Srila Prabhupada say, if you really want to progress in your sadhana, in your spiritual path, is necessary to take initiation for the Sadguru, like this. When I remember that, tears coming, and after that, after 3 minutes, 5 minutes, all the devotee comes, I don't know where he's come. All the devotee comes, say to me, oh, what's happened? Why you have the tears flow? Because I know he's my Gurudev. He refused to me to give me initiation. And all the devotees come front of the door and say, oh, what's happened? He says he's a disciple of Gurudev. Why you stop it? No, take it, come to the room of Gurudev again. And I come again on front of Gurudev, and Gurudev said to me, Why you can understand? I said to you, I give you initiation Harinam tomorrow. Come tomorrow morning and shave your head and not sika. No shave your sika. Only you shave that and come with some offerings. Some offerings. You come and like this.
So when I first came to Gurudev, it was like, I was just remember being like super proud, like, and because everyone was like always glorifying. We were from like ISKCON before, and they're like, oh, the mystery family is so qualified. Like, wait till the mystery family comes to Gurudev, you know. So we're like, yes, I am qualified. I am in ISKCON. You know, I've been like a devotee since birth. You know, like even though I was a small kid, I still like had so much pride. And like people, I think Vishwambar Prabhu like introduced us, our family, like, hey Gurudev, this is the mystery family, dun, dun, dun. You know, and Gurudev like looks at us all like, and he's like, oh, you should all take initiation from any qualified guru. And I was like, who is he? Like, why is he ordering me around? Like, and I was like, oh, initiation? Like, what's that? Like, I didn't even know what it was, but because Gurudev was ordering me to do it, or like saying you should, I was like, ugh, I don't want it. But I just remember, like, Gurudev's kind of tricky. He's like, oh, you should do this, you know, or you should sing, you should distribute my books, you should take initiation. It's like, my words are Shabda Brahma, and somehow or another, Krishna will like arrange this for you. So I was hesitant for a while because like many devotees were like, you should take initiation. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it when I want to, you know. And then, but like somehow Gurudev's like really magical, and he like kept me associating with his devotees, and I just remember the kirtan being really beautiful. And for some reason I started like reading Gurudev's classes, and they were just like, once you start drinking, it's like slowly like taste for other things went away. Like I would start listening to kirtan, and then I couldn't listen to like other music I listened to before. Like it just had no taste. Or I would be reading Gurudev's books, then I stopped reading like novels. Like I just couldn't. I couldn't connect to my friends anymore. It was like really strange. Like Gurudev like trapped me, even though I didn't take initiation, and was like captured my heart somehow. And then finally in Badger I like was ready to take like Harinam from Gurudev. And I also remember just being really proud then, like we kind of kept it secret. Or also like during the fire sacrifice, they were like, oh, you should go begging, and I was like, I'm not gonna go beg. It's funny, like even if you're a little kid, like you have so much of this pride. But like then I remember we didn't want any of our other family members to know, so we would like, we hid these beads like on our wrists, and like we didn't say like anything. We had got the same names, like Gopika, except the funny thing is my name's like on my passport is like Shri Gopika Maharani, but Gurudev is just like Gopika Dasi. You're not any Maharani, you're not any like Shri, you're just Dasi. And then yeah, so we like kept it hidden from everyone, but like as soon as Gurudev like catches you, like you're gone, like you're part of his group, you know, like you're part of Mahaprabhu's family. So like slowly like he changes your life and your association, and all for the better, like up to spiritual upliftment. Like you're part of God family now, like you're not part of this world, like you're here to serve God.